So I've been watching the video of Marvin Winan uh, turning down for $1,200. Not turning it down; he didn't give the money back. But one of his parishioners came up with an offering $1,000 plus 250, and he said he wanted 1,000 plus 1,000 for a total of 2,000. And since she didn't do what he had told her she needed to do, he kind of chastised her there, but he still took the money. And of course, there's a whole lot of online blowback and whatnot. My thing is this, right? Now, it's come out that he's been building a church since 2003, right? Hadn't really moved it along in over 22 some years. And back in 2003, if you think back, that's when a lot of these pastors had wanted these big mega churches. That was the thing. Even my church here in Raleigh, North Carolina, did the same thing. I think we opened up a bigger church like 2009. You know, these pastors are in these really back then they were in these competitions with each other. You know, they go to these little conventions and they talk about the tithes and the offerings and how big their churches are, and so a lot of churches grew in size because of that. But what's going on now is that most of these churches are bleeding members, right? There are a lot of people who are leaving these churches and they're not being replaced, right? And so when you bleeding members, that is some tithes and offerings going right out the door. But your bills for old churches and your bills for your current pastor and all things he wants to do and whatnot is still the same. And so what that is now the people who are left, the true believers, and mainly these are people who are really the pastor's most loyalist, right? Now they got to foot the bill for lost revenue, basically. That's why you see these pastors. Rhiners is just the front of it because he's here on TikTok and social media, but he's not the only one. A lot of pastors now are facing the blunt, and this was going on even before the COVID year, and then after the COVID year hit, donations were really starting to dry up. So you are seeing a lot of pastors starting to feel the blunt of losing members and losing that revenue, and the people who are left, and they got to kind of help fill up that bag. So if you stand in church and you're a lawyerist, get ready to pay more.